Hello my creative friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Olga Sorokina, and in this tutorial I will show you top 7 mistakes beginners make in interior design drawing. Especially for this video, I made in my sketchbook 2 almost identical drawings of a bedroom, and one is wrong and one is correct. One which is wrong, this one to the left. Here I collected all 7 mistakes about which I will talk in this video, and one to the right is fine. So let's get started. Side note, these conclusions are based on my observations of interior design drawings made by beginners from my video course base. It's a video course, online video course for beginners in interior design drawing. So I believe talking about these common mistakes would be of help to you. Alright, so mistake number 1, most popular. It's all about perspective. Yes, Her Majesty perspective. And this sketch to the left, it's completely wrong in this case. So basically this drawing of a bedroom, it's in 2-point perspective. So we have 2 vanishing points on our horizon line, which means that each and every line we make in our drawing should converge either in one vanishing point or in the other. The only exceptions here are vertical lines, which represent heights of our objects. And please remember that perspective distortions are good only for the cubists. For interior design drawings, perspective is a must-have skill. So you really should master this. Well, let's take a closer look at this wrong sketch. Let's check these lines. For example, let's take lines of our cardboard and our right wall. These points converge somewhere here in this point on our horizon line. Yes, you remember that our vanishing points, they are located on the horizon line. Now let's check the bed. So we can see that this line and this line, they go in completely different direction. So they do not converge in our left vanishing point, and this is a big mistake. Well, what about our right sketch? And here we can clearly see that we have 2 vanishing points, A1 and A2 on the horizon line, and all the lines which I created in this drawing, they go directly to this vanishing point. So as you can see, lines of the bed and lines of the cupboard converge to the left vanishing points, and these lines, they run up to our right vanishing point A2. If you don't know yet, I have a free challenge on perspective basics. It's an online mini course and it's completely free. So if you want to master basics of 1 and 2-point perspective, it's definitely a must-have for you, and it's completely free. So just check direct link in the description box below, and I'll see you inside this challenge. It's really fun. Alright, now let's check what else is wrong here in terms of perspective. Now please take a look at these shades, these lamp shades. Now you can see how they open. So here on the wrong side we can see these ovals, and here is our horizon line. And now I want you to compare these shades with shades here in our correct drawing. So as you can see, we can see the upper plane of our shade in the wrong drawing, but here we cannot see it because this oval, it's above the horizon line, and our horizon line is basically our eye level, so we cannot see upper plane of this shade. If our horizon line would be much higher, then yes, we would see these ovals opening, but for now it's completely wrong. In our right drawing we cannot see these openings. For now, let's take a look at the objects in perspective, such as pillows, this line of the cardboard, and let's compare them to our correct sketch. So what is wrong here? For example, let's take a look at this cardboard partition. It looks like it should be at the very center of our cupboard, but check these spaces. Here it's much shorter. when here in our right sketch, this space which is closer to us should be bigger because of perspective. The same thing is happening with the pillows. It looks like we are standing and watching at them at the front, from the front, not from this side. So the main idea is that in perspective, objects that are farther from us would look smaller in comparison with the objects which are closer to us, and they would appear bigger, wider. Okay, next mistake, which is also very common for beginners, and it's all about technique in line drawing. So let's take a closer look at this drawing. Look, these lines, they are very short. They are like torn short lines, which represents uncertainty of technique. And instead of drawing one nice line, we create this line from several little torn lines. And this mistake, it instantly shows and reflects your uncertainty. It shows that you are a beginner. So what can we do here? We should train our hand, and I created especially for you a tutorial here on my YouTube about 10 exercises how to train your hand. This is great exercises. These are great exercises for artists, interior designers, any kind of designers, architects. So as always, check the info box below. In comparison, look at lines here in our drawing to the right. We can see that they are very confident, and that's a great advantage. Good. Well, our next mistake, which is also very common, and it's once again all about technique, but in this case not about line drawing technique, but about marker drawing technique. So let's see how marker is put here. So it was put like each and every line is following to the vanishing points. So this marker, it follows the form of our wall. Also, here it would be absolutely correct to put these lines vertically. Now, what is happening here in our incorrect drawing? Let's take a look. And we can clearly see that lines here and this hatching is created in all different directions. It's chaotic, it's irregular, it doesn't follow the form of the wall. Here I'd love to make a quick note about marker themselves. So for example, this Copic Classic marker, it has two tips, two nibs. One is wide, one is thin, and it's normal for professional markers. And usually beginners, they start to hatch with this thin nib in all different directions, whereas while they can create a couple of strokes with a wide nib, and it will save them time, plus their sketch will look much better. All right, next mistake. It's all about textures, problems with the textures, especially textures in interior design. What are they? It's a concrete, glass, mirror, metal, timber. For instance, here we have this very nice timber flooring, and let's take a closer look, and you will see that wood texture here represented more like it's marbles, veins. Actually, it looks like earthworms, and that's pretty much disgusting. While here in our correct drawing, take a look here. This texture, it's to scale, it's not very big, and it looks much more realistically. Well, what can we potentially do about this mistake in order to avoid it? First and foremost, I would recommend you to check as much photo references on this texture as possible. And my top visited website in this case is pinterest.com. I'm sure you've heard about it. So you can simply put in its search, for example, timber, light timber, or oak timber, and you will get so much inspiration. So head over pinterest.com and get inspired there. Alright, so next mistake is all about background. Beginners, they very often mix these two concepts of background and foreground. And for example, as you can see here, all the lines are very precise, there is a lot of contrast, lines are very bold. That's why this background, it's like too vivid, it's too bold for this drawing. Our main focus should be on foreground, on the objects which are inside and closer to us. So for example, in case of this drawing to the right, I focused all my attention on the foreground, on the objects which are like protagonist, the main hero of this scene, and it's obviously this bad. And the background is here very light. I made it with my light mint color of Copic Xiao. So in interior design drawing, foreground is always much more important than the background. Very good. So next mistake, and I call it I love everything equally, which literally means that you put the same amount of time and energy in drawing, for example, foreground, which is bad, and you draw the same amount of time this cardboard, which is much farther from the bad, and we should put less time and energy in it. And of course you focus too much on the background, and that's a big mistake, because you don't need to create same level of details on different planes and different grounds, foregrounds and middle grounds and backgrounds. Very good visual here would be just imagine that there is a fog, a mist in our space. That's why we can see our foreground, this bad, in bolder lines. There is more contrast here, and middle ground, it disappears a little bit, and background is like completely disappears in this fog and mist. All right, and our final mistake for today is actually it's very different from previous ones, because this one is all about your mindset. Oh my god, you even can't imagine how often I receive emails from my students with their drawings, and they write that, Olga, please don't judge me, this was my first attempt to draw and I know it's awful. This is, guys, a big mistake, to call your first efforts awful, because nobody is perfect at a new skill they are trying to master. Everybody used to fail. For example, when we try to learn how to ride a bicycle, we don't judge ourselves when we first fall from the bicycle and it's our first ride, right? Please change your mindset, let yourself make all these mistakes if you want. Don't judge yourself, and believe me that with a mindset which is open to new opportunities, which is open to learning new skills, you will progress so much faster in comparison that you have this judgment mindset and always criticize yourself and your drawings. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye for now. And please remember to check all the links I put in the description box below. So the first one is the direct link to my free perspective challenge. The second one is all about my top 10 exercises to train your hand. It's a video tutorial. And the last one is my blog post, 10 rules of sketching. Happy learning!